Hi, hi. All right, so um, let's go ahead and jump into this bonus general message. And all I'm going to say is this: yesterday, when I was planting flowers, well, they're still not all done. I still have more to do today, but I had a lot of weeding to do to make flower beds, and oh my gosh, my dog got in the way so much because he was helping me. He's a healer, a cattle dog. So he wants to herd everything, including my digger fork, including like every weed I pull out and toss in the bucket beside me. It's his duty to snatch them out of the air as I toss them. And so it becomes like oh my gosh. He ran around like a wild man and assisted me for about 3.5 hours last night. And yeah, it's hilarious and it's cute, but not always do we need someone's assistance, right? So let's keep that in mind. Sometimes the best intentions are not necessarily the most helpful, but he had so much joy. Like, how could I tell him no, right? Okay, so we start this storyline out though, and maybe that'll factor in, maybe not, the idea that sometimes people's help is not always exactly terrific assistance. But we've got an eight of sacred circles, so there's effort, there's work, there's help, right? We have the sun card in the reverse. Not 100% cheerful, happy, perfect, or putting a smile on our face. And yet, this is somebody who still wants to work on something. Why? Because we could say it this way. An individual is sitting here working on things. They're not quite seeing yet what will the result of their labor be. Or, like I said, maybe somebody wants to come and help you work, and you're like, thanks. I didn't need help with that, but okay. Um, but in this, the eight of sacred circles, it's look, no matter what, this is a kind of work where we're developing something. So we're going to have success. And eventually, hi, baby. Sorry, my dog is right over here. Hi, Pumpkin. And eventually, we will have the success. Because the sun card is still the happiest card in the deck. It is promising that, of course, we are still going to end up having success. We may not see it just yet. We may not see how it's all going to work out just yet, but it is coming nonetheless. So funny. So we have a two of swords. And two of swords is a card of, yeah, turning our back to something, blocking it, maybe blocking others' assistance, or maybe it's that we're blocking the vision of how this is all going to work out. Right now, all we see in front of us is a whole heck of a lot of work. Shh, hush, my love. It's like he knows when I'm talking about him and he shows up to be like, Aries could come and help you again, mama. We've got an emperor in the reverse here. I have to say, to me, this is looking like someone is feeling pretty far away from their goal. They're feeling pretty much like, I still don't have what I want. I still don't have what I've been working toward. I don't feel very powerful right now. I don't feel like I'm getting where I'm supposed to be yet. But that sometimes is just a matter of thought. Sometimes that's not true. Somebody is way closer to what they want to have or who they want to be, but they're not really giving themselves that the accolades for where they're at or how far they've come. All they see is, I'm still on this journey, and the journey is filled with effort and work. I don't really see the payoff yet. I'm unable to look at it though through those eyes because I'm focusing right now on the negative. So hold on here. We could be focusing on a negative because we're saying, all I think about right now is, I remember an individual who should have treated me better who didn't. We could be focusing on that kind of a negative. We could be like, oh no, I suffered at the hands of, an emperor in the reverse, and that's where my focus is, and I'm still working on trying to get over that. Does not mean that the emperor in the reverse is a masculine. Let's get one card from the chakra deck. What's the energy flow that this eight of sacred circles individual is in right now? The person who, there's going to be success here. The effort being put in is amazing. But let's just see. Their energy flow right now is Seven of Coins in the reverse, and it's a crown chakra in the reverse. So again, this talks about someone wants to be done right now. It's like, look, I am sick of working on healing. I'm sick of being, in this place where every day still feels like a struggle. I still feel like I'm I have a lot of hurt, a lot of pain that I'm carrying with me. I am not over the hurt and the pain that I felt or still continue to feel. Like, when will this go away? When will the hurt and the pain dissolve? Because I want it to be over yesterday. So somebody's getting a little fed up with where they're at. However, I have to say, it's more of a perspective shift that this person maybe needs to have, because when we're not connected to that crown chakra, that higher self, we just haven't seen it in the right light yet. It's very much like the sun is shining, but we don't know it because all of our blinds are still closed. You don't know that it's a dazzling sunlit day if you're in a darkened room with blackout curtains. So we just might need to see this character shift perception. But let's first talk about this, because this is the big like the black cloud that hovers over this person. This is the big nasty, right? This is the reason this person still feels like, God, I'm still working on trying to let go of something that hurt me. This is the thing that hurt. This is the thing that still clouds their mind. So let's talk about that Emperor in the reverse. We got the Sun in the reverse again. So definitely this still the thing that clouds their mind is this. It's like, I could be totally happy if only I could get over this thing, this person, whatever happened to me. By the way, we have Leo energy twice in the reverse. Leo energy with the Sun should be action taker. This is, Invictus soul. This is the invincible sun. This is where it's like, nothing's going to stop me from being successful. I've got everything it takes to have anything I want in my life. Right now, somebody is not feeling invincible, but they're also not necessarily action taking. They're doing a ton of work, so they are taking action. But again, we're talking about, this is like somebody who's like, I'm going to yoga every day. I'm, doing exercise stuff to try to relieve my stress. I'm reading self-help books. I'm doing all the work. Then why do I not feel like I'm done with this hurt yet? Well, because there is still some piece of the puzzle that we're not seeing clearly yet. And it has to do with the Emperor. So the Emperor is the cloud in our otherwise sunny sky. We have the Temperance card. The Temperance card, this one in particular, I love this one so much. This is my all-time favorite Temperance card I've ever seen anywhere out of any deck. To me, this is depicting the universe. The universe stands here as an alchemist, and he is blending together these two different fluids, and he's pouring them into this vase, which I look at that like the world. And inside the vase, we see that he's creating an entire worldly landscape, which happens to be a desert scene with these camels running across it. And this desert scene is sitting on top of a Buddha's head, and all around there are butterflies. The universe is standing here saying, look, I've actually poured together the fluids that have created, yes, a desert. A desert appears to be barren, right? But it's not. It's teeming with life. It is only really tough things can survive in the desert, right? Because they got to survive extremes. They got to live in the cold nights and the hot days. They got to be able to survive times of great drought. But then if you get just a little sprinkling of rain in the desert, things bloom. You didn't even know that there were so many wildflowers in the desert unless you've ever seen a super bloom after an unexpected rain in the spring, There's so many creatures that are so well adapted to living in the desert. So very hardy, very tough, and they very smart, right? Because again, you got to be able to survive in a very tough climate. The thing is, the universe has created an opportunity for only the tough can manage here, right? Only the powerful will make it. Only those that are adaptable will thrive. But under the surface, there's so much life and there's so much potential and there's so much beauty here. And the thing is, we're getting closer and closer to transforming that desert ourselves because of our strength and our fortitude. And the proof of that is it sits on the upturned Buddha head. Even I would argue this, there is a time where it is necessary for our lead character to kind of feel like they're maybe out in a desert because they're kind of finding themselves. Think of it like a time for a vision quest, a time where maybe they don't have, somebody in their life right now, because it's a time for them to really acclimate to the fact that, wow, life threw me some really tough stuff. but man, look at what I've accomplished. I can make it through these really barren times. Not everybody can do what I've done. Not only that, but I'm finding my peace, I'm finding my inner strength, and then I am going to transform and like basically like terraform this desert of my life into something lush and beautiful, because that's again what this promises is. It's only a desert if we don't, divert water there and start growing green things that help lock in moisture. And the landscape of the earth changes over time. There's evidence of it all over. Many places that are now deserts once upon a time had oceans, they had water over them. So it's all about transformation. We're not going to stay in a desert, but there is beauty and even an opportunity to not say, oh my God, I'm out in the middle of this empty desert, but to say, wow, I'm strong enough to stand in this desert. That must mean I'm that adaptable creature who's intelligent and who has that sustenance to get by in a difficult time. And I also now realize I can change this desert into something else. So it's basically like a blank landscape that I get to fill in and make it lush and make it beautiful and green. So this situation with the emperor, even though it isn't happy, the thing that our character gets out of this is that, or the missing piece, the thing that they haven't seen yet was this. And that's where the sense of peace lies. It's not in focusing on, I keep trying to heal from what happened with this emperor in the reverse, which is someone who could have been, unpleasant. The word hostile even comes out of my mind, like somebody who treated us cruelly even. This is somebody who can be a jerk. It's an egomaniac. It's somebody who it's impossible to work with them because they've got an attitude that makes it pretty impossible. And if our lead character says, I've been working so hard to get over this hurt and I'm still not over it, and what is it that I'm still supposed to do to get over it? That was the question I was asking. It's like, how is this impacting us? Well, that's the one block in our happiness. And what is it that we're supposed to learn about that for our character here? The sense of peace and harmony, but it's more than that. It's a sense of resilience, and it's a sense of acknowledgement that we are, I'm going to even say, more powerful than the emperor. And that may be why the emperor behaved this way, because we threatened their power and they didn't know how else to react. Because this is a very powerful person. This is somebody who, like I said, you've got the energy to survive even in a desert, and to then, terraform it and turn it into something green and transform. This person, they don't transform. They stay kind of stuck in a certain energy, and your potential and the power that they saw in you might have been the thing that they were most like threatened by. So then it brings up more and more of that jealousy, which manifests as more ego. So we've got kind of, I don't know if that's what if the question really had been, I still don't understand why somebody treated me like this, and I don't understand how much more time do I have to invest in trying to heal when I still can't answer the question of why did someone treat me this way? Why did they hurt me? It's like, well, because they were threatened by all that you are. That's not your burden to bear. That's their problem. They need to go work on. The only thing that our lead character has to work on is letting go of the why. Why did someone treat me like this? Darling, it's a lot of people get threatened by powerful people. Like that's, at least that's the message from the universe on that one. And we have Sagittarian energy coming in with that. So we got Aries, we got Leo twice, we got Sag. Is there anything else here? I feel like this is going to stay kind of short and sweet. 9 of Cups. It's time to shift focus onto not working to heal ourselves, but shifting our perception to say, wait a second. I've worked hard on the idea of letting go and finding peace and, forcing myself to move on from something that still hurts. But what I maybe haven't done is allowed myself to enjoy taking care of me. The 9 of Cups can be wish fulfillment, but this card in particular is associated with joyful indulgence. She's laying here eating grapes and kind of like a spa. There's this element where instead of thinking of healing and investing in ourselves as work and effort, it's something we get to do. We don't, oh, great. Now I have to keep working on healing myself. And it's such a job and it's so exhausting. This is like, I get to take care of me. This is a delight. This is a pleasure. By the way, sorry guys, I am beat up like crazy, and every day it's going to be worse as I am weeding and planting more flowers and vegetables. So if you're wondering why is Kate a disaster, I have like bruises all over. I have you if you see weird shadows, I saw some under my upper arms here. I'm a wreck right now. But sorry, I just noticed that I look awful. um, this is such a nice perspective shift for our lead character. I don't have to be exhausted working to heal myself. I get to have a good time taking care of myself. Tell me about that Two of Swords. That Two of Swords is that's a card of we've turned our back, but we're still blocking. We were blocking that piece of information that we already talked so much about. But I just want to say, how do we turn our backs, to face this? Is there any other? There's a lot of gentle energy in this. There's a lot of shifting and relaxing. Oh, Seven of Swords. I want to say it this way. I think that one of the hardest things in this storyline, we've got this character who's been working on themselves, but they still haven't been able to fully find their happiness because of that stuck energy surrounding what happened with the Emperor. Like, why did that person treat me poorly? And this can represent two things. It can represent I have to turn my back on someone who lied and ran away from me. But it can also be that I've turned my back on the things that I feel like, I'll never get answers. Well, that's not true. The answers, we may not ever get answers exactly from them, but we do actually know the answer. But as long as we keep our mind turned away from the answer, which is this person was immature. This person, they took everything. So let's put it this way. This is a storyline of a blacksmith who's working really hard over here, forging metal, turning it into these, in this case, swords. And his apprentice, who should be assisting him, has only been assisting him because he wants to steal all those swords. And he's even like, shh, because he's making off in the dark of night. Meanwhile, the blacksmith is still over here at work. If we had this Emperor in the reverse, and we've said over and over in our head, why did somebody treat me this badly? The thing that we turned our back to, because all we said is, no, this person was a liar. I don't understand why they lied to me. We're lying to ourselves a little bit in this. Our lead character is because they're not, let me put it this way. In the back of their mind, they do know the truth. The truth is they were the blacksmith working on something, willing to build something, forging something, doing all the heavy lifting in maybe a relationship. And the person they were with, that Emperor in the reverse, was immature. They were taking all the kindness, all the stability that we were creating. They were taking it because they were really immature, and they were always running away with it. They were always taking what we offered, but giving nothing in return, letting us work really hard because they liked everything that we were doing. We had skills that they didn't have. An apprentice is not a blacksmith yet. They flat out don't have the skills, but they like everything that you offer. So you know how to give love. So they take it and they take it and they take it, but they're not trying to elevate their vibration and become a blacksmith. Also, this person was only here to take the finished product and run away with it. But the thing is, we knew that all along. We've turned our back to that one little truth, which might be, I lied to myself because I knew all along this person, they showed me that they weren't really trying to cooperate. They kept taking from me, but did they really give back? It's almost like, we've been asking this question of why was this Emperor, why didn't they treat me well? Because A, they weren't an Emperor. They were an Emperor in the reverse. B, like I said at the beginning, like they were threatened by the power of an individual because they didn't have it, but they also wanted it. So first they attach themselves to a powerful individual, then they both feel like jealous of it. So they even try to diminish someone's power, and they also keep taking it as a way to like, okay, maybe I can exhaust you so so you don't have any more energy to keep making those swords, so then you won't be so powerful. It's like this person, their perspective on finding someone that was amazing and powerful, it was more like, I resent you that you're more powerful than me. I resent the fact that you have the ability to manifest more than me. I resent the fact that you have what I wish I had. So first I attach myself to you because I'm drawn to what you've got, but I'm also jealous of it. This is a card of a jealous individual. So that's immature, right? Someone, if they're going to be inspired by a partner, it's like, wow, you're amazing. Wow, I want to, I want to learn from you. I will be your apprentice in this, whatever this is. This could have been about a friendship. This could have been about a coworker. This could have been somebody who wants to come work in your business and they're a good friend. But then you're like, wow, this person is not contributing. And in fact, this person sabotages, or they take, from me, and then they're not a good worker, and they really, now they're not even a friend, and I can't believe that they would betray me like that. And it's like, wait, take the betrayal out and look at just them, and look at, what did we really see them doing? We know darn well why they were there. They were there because they saw us as successful, and they were there because they wanted what the blacksmith was creating to benefit themselves. But there was always jealousy. There was always like, why do you have this skill and I don't? This person, they didn't break our hearts. This person was simply, if we step back a little bit, we see, I knew all along that this person had that energetic vibe of like, they wanted what I had. But when somebody just wants what we have, instead of wanting to contribute and create, harmony and lasting, equality, it's never going to work. But it's almost like we knew that right out of the gate, if we can step back far enough. And that seems to have been the one missing component of this. Like, it's hard to understand that it has been hard for this character to understand, why am I still not over this? What is it that I'm like, I keep working on healing myself, but I don't think they've yet worked on letting it go, because I don't think that our character had yet come to that conclusion. The thing that's been in the subconscious all along, but they just hadn't identified it in the forefront of their mind, that, wait a second, I'm still trying to heal from, why did somebody do this, when the only critical piece of the information is what my subconscious knew all along, which is, this person did me dirty because they were jealous of me. They were jealous of my power. And that can be hard to understand if it's like a person that you would never have expected to be jealous like that, a lover, or someone who, it's like, why would they be jealous of the fact that they're attracted to me? That's kind of crazy, because this person can't think of anybody else being even their, it's not even being their equal. It's that they always felt less than, and they were mad at the lead character for making them feel less than, without ever them realizing the only person making them feel less than is themselves. They're acting out of jealousy, immaturity. They're here to take vibes and good vibes, but not give anything back, as a way to deplete our lead character. Well, they kind of accomplished that. Was a little bit of mission accomplished for a while, because it was a head trip for our lead character. And that's the one thing they've struggled to release and identify, even though they've known it all along. Because like I said, the sun card, even in the reverse, it is a sunny day. Anyway, we slice it, we're just in a room with blackout curtains. The same metaphor would be like, walking around outside, but you have a blindfold on, and you keep saying, I know that it's warm. It feels like it's a sunny day, but I can't see it. We'll take off the blindfold, and, all the pieces fit together, right? What you sensed, what you already knew, because you can feel that the light of the sun, even if you're blindfolded. This is where we actually now just take off the blindfold and we go, I was right all along. And I knew that all along. I feel like that is the missing piece of the puzzle for this sense of harmony to come in, the missing component of all of this. And now somebody's energy shifts to, I don't have to work to heal myself. I get to enjoy myself. I get to, enjoy my life. Wait a second, I always could have done this. I just didn't realize until now. There was that one little thing that I couldn't put my finger on, when in fact I had the answer all along. So I don't know if that'll make any sense. As always, these are fictional stories about fictional characters. Please remember. So, all right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Have a beautiful day. Bye.